Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't lose your head just yet, because I know we all love the Arbiter, and you know what? I love him too. But with that in mind, have you ever stopped to consider that maybe his supposed absence is a good thing? And it might not be the most obvious reasons either, so let's just sit back, let's relax, and let me tell you why this might be a good thing and the potential impact it could have on Halo Infinite.
Ultimate Halo.
Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and in my last video I told you that I was leaving my job in December to go full time with YouTube, which is still a crazy thought, but a lot of you left some really fantastic and supportive comments, so I would like to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and your support by simply subscribing genuinely makes a huge difference to a Halo content creator. And also, if you'd like to come hang out in my Discord, link is in the description, and I'm currently playing through all the Halo games on Legendary on my Twitch, so please, I implore you, come hang out, let's talk some Halo, and come experience my pain as I show you how bad I am actually at the game. So thank you once again, and I will let you get on with the rest of the video. Okay, so just to set your expectations, look, we don't know for sure yet if the Arbiter is or is not in Halo Infinite, but judging from what we've seen thus far, it is looking unlikely. We talked about it in the last video that 343 seems to be slimming down the cast of characters in the game to make it more accessible and have it more of a jumping on point for the series. But why is it a good thing that the Arbiter might not be in Halo Infinite? The thing is, his addition in Halo 2 at the time was controversial, but in time he did become a loved part of the franchise, with fans looking back fondly on how he complemented Halo 2's narrative. Keith David also did an incredible job, and despite Chief having pretty much all the iconic lines in every single Halo game, the Arbiter does an equally great job in having some of the most iconic moments in the entire franchise. Then when it came to Halo 3, it was mixed in terms of fans being happy with him taking a back seat. He was there for the ride, but he wasn't necessarily as integral to the story as he would have been in Halo 2. Once again, then in Halo 5, the Arbiter was certainly involved to perhaps a lesser extent than Halo 3, but you did get to see him on his homeworld, embroiled in his own political affairs with the Storm Covenant and the Created, and pretty much everything else going on. It's kind of a bit of a mess, to be quite honest. So despite all of this absolute mayhem that's going on around the Arbiter, his story does kind of get dropped in the end, and now we are looking forward to Halo Infinite's campaign and what it can bring to the table. But is it truly a good idea to have the Arbiter in between a Chief-focused story? Because at the end of it all, he's not going to get the screen time or attention that he deserves in the story, because the Arbiter is complex, probably more so now than ever, with the swords of Sanghelios being in pieces now that Cortana is policing the galaxy, and with us knowing that there is a Guardian literally on patrol on Sanghelios. But to also flip the coin over to Chief's side, Chief is going through a very complex time at the moment, albeit emotionally and kind of galactically. He's in the middle, and he is the heart of this big battle to really bring humanity back from the brink, but also his very personal and kind of spiritual journey defeating Cortana with the weapon, and how does he emotionally want to handle that, especially after what's happened in Halo 4 and 5, because really, if you add too many characters around that, it does have the potential to dilute what emotional impact the Chief is going through at that time, so that is just worth bearing in mind. Oh, okay, well it's just time to breathe for a second, because we've established exactly why it is that the Arbiter is probably not going to be in the story, but how exactly can the Arbiter take part in Halo Infinite's game or story to some degree? And for me, the answer is simple, but with massive possibilities. Campaign DLC. And this is what I want to explore a little bit more in this video too, because I think there are some incredible possibilities on how something like this can play out. Because one idea I have is that you start off as a new DLC with the Master Chief, let's say, but on a new mission on Zeta Halo, which is to find and rescue the Arbiter from the hands of the Banished or the Harbinger. Then when you eventually want to rescue him, things change up all of a sudden, and you're in the Arbiter's shoes properly for the first time from a narrative perspective since 2004. It is kind of that flick of the switch which will make players feel like, oh my god, this is actually happening. They're tapping into some nostalgia, but they're also going to progress the story in new and meaningful ways that doesn't necessarily always have to spin around the chief. And at this point you could be doing anything, but I would image that at the end of the game you're going to be in a position where you can pick up the pieces and complete the Arbiter's main goal, which is for stability between the Sangheili themselves and humanity. You could also potentially visit Sanghelios again for some missions. You could gather forces of Sangheili on Zeta Halo to fight an epic battle against the Banished, and honestly the sky is the limit. But I wanted to make this video for the fans who might be a little bit disappointed if he's not in the game, because I'm sure that long term 343 want their options open and wanting to give characters the time and the appearances that will do them justice. I would rather not have it at all right now, as long as they can be done right in the future. But let me know in the comments section down below. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think Infinite should have the Master Chief in its current form? Or would you be open to things such as campaign DLC, or maybe you have another idea that I haven't even discussed yet? Once again, my name is Jack Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.